UFC Rio, DraftKings GPP strategy and lineup builder. Do me a favor, smash the like button, especially if you've been here for the 4 of the last 8 videos in which we built the optimal lineup. In this video, go through fights, strategies, fight breakdown video that's already on the channel, drop Tuesday. Cash game builder, if that's your jam, that dropped Thursday. One more time, hit the like button, leave me a comment, and now, guys, let's get into the fights. All right, let's go through this and let's talk. Let's start with basic settings first. And by the way, in DFS Army, which is the builder I'm going to use, but this video, it will cover enough strategy. No matter what builder you use, you're going to be in luck. But if you want to use the best one on the market, my opinion, the DFS Army Domination Station, go ahead, and the Discord and all that other stuff, link in the description. Make sure you go and join up at DFS Army. I'm going to stick to my usual 49,400 min salary cap, 250,000. It's viable to go lower this week. There's a couple live dogs, not enough. I honestly think losing the Usman-Walker fight hurts it a little bit, because even though I was going to be way over on Walker, I was just going to be over on that fight overall. Not enough for me. I'm going to stand pat. But if you want to lower this to 49.2 or 48.8 and really try and make yourself different, I get it this week. We are building 150 lineups. That's what this video is for. We want to go tournament mode. I stick to one unique. You can go to 2 uniques, but I more rely on my ownerships and ranges rather than some of these settings up here. I do recommend some bit of randomization. Just get a little bit off the optimal, just a touch. Anywhere between 1 and 9%. Pick your favorite number. I'm going to go with just 2 this week. 2 is my favorite number. We've gone a little higher other weeks. I'm going to stick to just 2. And then the process you should be doing is, and apologies if you've been with me, but we got to teach some of the new people. Everything you're doing in DraftKings tournaments is based on ownerships. Do I want to be over or under the field? That's all you're trying to do. You're not trying to smash 12-0 in terms of fight picks. You're trying to put yourself in the shoes of which fighters, if they win, do I want to be or have a chance at making the optimal, and I want to be overweight to those. You can make a couple picks within, take a couple strong stands, but just because, for example, in this Pinto-Denise fight, this is a great fight to target, right? This is one of the better ones on the card. I picked Mario Pinto to win. That doesn't mean I'm going to be underweight and go 10% Jahanada Denise. That's not what I want to do at all. So in this example, by the way, this is one of the better fights to target on the card. I want to be over on both guys. I want to be more over on Mario Pinto. So I'm going to take 40% Mario Pinto. I probably don't want to slam more than 50% in. Jahanada Denise, I'm good with being anywhere field weight to a little bit over. So even though I'm picking Pinto, just based on ownerships, I could theoretically still end up with more Jahanada Denise. It's all about ownership and what you're doing based on the field. Petrino Peterson, back-to-back fights. I don't know who set up the order in the DS this week. The first 3 fights we're going to talk about, 4 fights. I just want to have fucking metric fuck tons of them. So Petrino Peterson, same situation. Now, Petrino's getting more of a bump because we lost Walter Walker. Same thing with like Joel Alvarez. Everybody in the 9K is going to get a bump for me because all that ownership I was going to spend on Walker has got to go somewhere. And Petrino is, for me, also in a really, really strong spot. I do, similar to Mario Pinto, I want to be over. I want to be like 45 to like 60%. Love Vitor Petrino this week. Thomas Peterson, same thing. I still want to be over. Put me in that 20 to 30% range. Lacerda, Simon Oliveira. Lacerda is getting really chalky. Almost to the point where I think I'm going to take my foot off the gas just a little bit. He's going to be very chalky. Simon Oliveira missed weight by 8 pounds. It is a high GPP spot. 41% owned on Luan Lacerda, a guy who I'm not totally sold on. That's a little bit too high for me. I still want to be in the ballpark, though. So I'm going to actually limit the range here 35 to 45%. Want to be around the field weight, because I understand why the line is this way, but I don't want to waste exposure getting over here. And if I'm wrong and he pops off, I'll be in line with the field. If this is the stand you want to take, sure, but then you got to bump down on Petrino or Pinto. In terms of Simon Oliveira, I'm going to get different here. I want to be over the field on Simon. Give me 20 to 30% Simon Oliveira. All right, Hamosh Offley. I promise we're not going to go overweight on everybody up in this higher range. There are some we're going to force under. Again, though, I want to be over on Hamosh because Con Offley's terrible. Put me in this 30 to 40% range, call it a day. And as you can probably tell, Con Offley, 0 to 19%. If Offley beats me, I just had a bad day. I don't know, limit it to like 8%, 10%, half the field, a little less. I might not get, if it gives me 0, I'm not going to force any of him in. Roca Nickel is interesting. 45%? That seems way too high to me. I know I've been back and forth on this fight. I'm a little surprised at this ownership. Oh, Nickel is 45%. This is because he's minus 110 now. He's become the favorite. I was reading this as Roca. Look, I like Stuart Nickel. This is to me, a toss-up type of fight. It's not one I want to get crazy overexposed on. Like, you can't go over on anybody. He is 7,700. I'll be touch under to field weight. Give me 30 to 45%. Luis Roca, I'm going to vanilla this one up. I said in the notes and in the breakdown podcast, this is one of the fights I've been going back and forth on the most. Not a super strong lean, so just going to go ahead and stay about field weight there. All right, Julia Palastri, 25%. No, thank you. Really expected to go to decision. This is way, 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 way too high. I want to be significantly under on Palastri. I'll take a minimum of 5%, max of 10. Put me in that range. Karolina Kowalkiewicz, while I love her in cash, think she's live to win the fight. She's super cheap. If a couple dogs win, she's going to have a hard time ending up on the optimal unless she's one of the few dogs to win or the price fits just right. I do want to be at least field weight. I wouldn't go crazy. I'll limit it to about 20%. Actually, I probably want to be a little bit over because I'm picking her to win. So give me a little bit of this range here, but don't go crazy, even though I did pick KK to win. The move on this fight is just make sure you're under to Palastri. Montel Jackson, Davison Figueiredo. This is where I'm going to be different in the field. I think we're a little bit too hyped up on Montel Jackson, and recency bias gone the other way on Figueiredo. Again, this is more about just strategy and exposures here. I have everybody in the 9K range. Montel Jackson, to me, because of the matchup, has had a tough time making the optimal here, I think. Yes, I know he's scoring a lot of knockdowns. This is a stand I am taking. You disagree with it, I get it. But I want to limit myself to like half the field. I'm going to be like 12 to 13% on Montel Jackson, and I'm good. There's other fighters earlier that I forced in instead. Figueiredo, I want to be over on. It's not going to take a lot to get over. Just give me 10 to 20%, and I can move on about my day. Mateusz Gamrot, 41% to me is too high. I'm going to limit this to like 25 to 40. I want to be field to a touch under because I'm going with Oliveira in the main event. It means I want to be overweight to Oliveira slightly, but give me, I don't know, 44% a lot of ownership. We take a beat and think about it. It is a good fight to target. The mid-range is iffy. Go 50 to 60%. I'll a little bit over on Oliveira. Carpenter Fieldhoe, I think this is a spot where you pick the side you think is going to win and go a little bit over on them, a little bit under on the other. It's a close fight. It's not a strong conviction, but I'll take Fieldhoe here. I think the takedown defense is going to be a problem for Carpenter. I want you to be under the field here. Yeah, like third of the field to cap at like 15 is fine. Aswell and Almeida. This is another one. I just don't think it's a good fight to target overall. You can't go over everywhere. I'm fine being field weight on Almeida as my cap, but I'm not forcing either guy in, and I'm not high on Aswell, especially as a favorite here. I'm going to limit him to half the field in this 5 to 10% range. Can't be over on everyone. This is a spot I'm going to go under on. Alvarez Luque, we're back to a spot I want to be over on. I don't know how hard it's going to be. We'll let the DS hopefully work its magic, 45 to 60%. Vicente Luque, do get over on Luque. I think he's still dangerous. 10 to 20% is actually, I want to make sure I get over on Luque. Somewhere in this range is fine. Bia Mesquita, this is one, I'm going to leave this blank and see what happens here because she's 9,600. I kind of want to be over. I thought she was going to be 20 to 25%. You know, Pulpo, if you're watching this, she's not 50. But also I can see she's not 20 to 25. She's in the 30% range. I probably want to be, it's a broad range. I'm going to give it 20 to 40%, and I want to be under on Elixiva. I'm really going to let the DS kind of give me something in this ballpark for Bia. And we go ahead and run, and then you just make adjustments and try and fit in the range. While we're doing that, guys, do me a favor, smash the like button. And we're ready. Every fighter, we got at least a little bit here. Let's just see now. Last week we got lucky. Everybody fell into rage, and I didn't have to do extra adjustments. Great. There's some weeks where we run this 7-8 times. Kind of just depends on, yes, a little bit on experience and knowing where you have to go. You have to go over on some, under on others, working in salaries, and depending on who you're picking for a fight card, it make it easier or harder. I already see that I don't have quite enough Charles Oliveira. So that means somebody in that mid-range and the dogs I want less of. Let's just see where we don't match up. That's probably easier to do. We're in line with Petrino and Alvarez. Oliveira's no. Nickel is fine. Probably an easy swap. I'm good going lower on Nickel and higher on Oliveira. They're like 100 difference here. So that's a bit strange. Oh, we didn't get high enough on Pinto either. I wanted to be way over the field on Pinto. Denise, close enough. Gamrot's fine. Hamosh fine. Bia right at field weight. Almeida. You have to give me a lot of Almeida here. I'm not as high as the field. I think if we lower this Almeida exposure a little bit, it'll help me bump up because they're in this about the same price range as Oliveira and Nickel. Pretty sure they're in the same price range. Let me look at my other monitor. Yeah. So I think that's going to help us. Kind of got to pick one of those. The DS wants me to put Almeida. I'd prefer the other two. That should help us. Let's find out. Peterson is fine. Fieldhouse fine. Oliveira's fine. KK fine. Montel giving me a little bit more Montel than I want. I'm going to lower this projection is how I'm going to handle this a little bit. Luque is fine. Figueiredo is in range. A little more Pilastri than I want to. So we'll lower that. Roca's fine, fine. Everybody else is fine. We go to the top. I have some room everywhere with the top price fighters. So let's just rerun. And we got Alvarez in range. Still not enough Oliveira for me. I'm going to have to manually bump up the projection. Now we're in range, right? Now we got Alvarez in range, Petrino in range. And when you do that, though, you have to watch the rest of the ranges. Still a little bit over on Nickel compared to what I want. Fine on Lacerda, though, and not crazy over on Nickel. It's fine. In range for Gamrot. I would like a little more Pinto. I really like that fight. We're going to try and bump that up a little bit. Denise, too. It's getting difficult. Hamosh is in range. Looks like it's still forcing too much Lucas Almeida in. So I'm going to lower this a little bit too. Trying to be different, Domination Stations. Quit slamming in your quote-unquote optimal plays. One more run. All right. This may have worked out for us. So we got in range. Petrino, Alvarez, Oliveira is good. Nickel, better even. Lacerda's good. Pinto is good. Denise is in range. Gamrot's in range. Hamosh is in range. Bia's in range. Peterson in range. Fieldho in range. Simon in range. Didn't like it doing it, but we got it there. In range for Almeida. In range for KK. In range for Luque. In range for Montel. In range for Figgy. In range for Roca. And then Pilastri, Carpenter, Awfully, as well, Alexiva, all in range. We are done. This is what I'm going to run in at least the Minimax, but make your own tweaks to it. That's just the basic strategy. To recap my plays that I definitely want to be over the field on. Top 3 plays on the board for me: Petrino, Alvarez, Charles Oliveira. So that's what we got for UFC Rio. Do me a favor, if you did not already, go ahead and smash that like button. Drop me a comment with what your favorite play of the day is, and join us at DFS Army. Link in the description down below. Good luck, and we'll see you at the top of the leaderboards.